What would it be like to know the signs of early dementia so we can fight them? What would it be like to be able to age healthily without having to deal with dementia and all that it brings to our lives? Stay until the end of this story because you will discover the 10 signs thanks to which you will know if you are at risk of dementia, but above all, you will discover how to fight it and live a peaceful old age. And before continuing, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. In this way, you will stay updated when we publish new content for your personal and spiritual growth. In the heart of New York City, amidst the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, lies an oasis of serenity, the Buddhist Meditation Center. Here, amidst the urban chaos, people seek solace and enlightenment under the guidance of Dr. Takashi Sato, a renowned Buddhist physician and meditation teacher. Dr. Sato, with his calm demeanor and wise presence, has helped countless individuals navigate life's complexities, including the challenges of aging and cognitive decline. Today, Dr. Sato sits on a cushion in the dimly lit main meditation room, addressing a group of about 15 people, all in their 50s and older. They have gathered to hear Dr. Sato talk about the early signs of dementia and the Buddhist remedies that can help counteract these signs and prolong mental and spiritual health. As attendees settle in, Dr. Sato begins in a gentle but firm voice. As we navigate the journey of life, it is essential to be aware of the changes that are occurring in our bodies and minds. Dementia is a condition that affects millions of people worldwide, and its onset can be insidious. However, if detected early, there are steps we can take to slow its progression and maintain our cognitive function. Today, I'm going to share with you some insights into the early stages of dementia. These insights may seem subtle, but if you notice something like this in yourself or someone you know, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. Sometimes we forget things. That's normal. Maybe we don't remember where we put our keys or the name of a person we just met. But if we start forgetting things much more often, especially things we just learned, that could be a sign to watch out for. For example, you might start forgetting where you parked your car, even if you parked it in the same place for many years. You might also forget important appointments or repeat the same questions over and over again. Dr. Sato pauses and looks at the audience. He notices that many of them nod in agreement, perhaps recognizing this signal in themselves or their loved ones. You may also begin to struggle with tasks that require planning or problem solving, she continues. We all make mistakes from time to time, but if you find yourself struggling with tasks like following a recipe or keeping track of your monthly bills, this could be linked to dementia. He pauses and asks, have any of you had any of these difficulties lately? A few hands rise timidly. A man in his 60s named Robert says, I've noticed lately that it's taking me a lot longer to figure out how to pay my bills. Sometimes I get confused and forget which bills I've already paid. Dr. Sato nods in understanding. This is a perfect example of how dementia can affect our ability to plan and solve problems. You may also have trouble concentrating on tasks or take much longer than usual to complete them. Another sign to watch for is difficulty completing familiar tasks. Dr. Sato continues. This can include things like driving to a familiar location, remembering the rules of your favorite game, or doing work-related tasks you've had for many years. As Dr. Sato speaks, a woman in her 50s named Maria shares her experience. My husband, who has always loved to cook, has started having trouble following recipes lately. He forgets ingredients or steps, and as a result, the food often doesn't come out right. Thank you for sharing, Maria, says Dr. Sato. This is another common example of how dementia can affect our cognitive abilities. As the disease progresses, people may lose the ability to perform even basic tasks, such as dressing or bathing. Another area to consider is confusion with time or place. You may lose track of dates, seasons, and the passage of time, But someone who begins to show signs of dementia may also begin to forget where they are or how they got there. For example, she adds, someone might get lost in their neighborhood or have trouble figuring out what time it is, what day of the week it is, or what year it is. They might also think they live in a different time period, like their childhood. There are also difficulties in understanding visual images and spatial relationships. This may manifest as problems reading, judging distance, or determining color or contrast. You may also have difficulty recognizing familiar faces or objects. A woman in her 70s named Susan raises her hand. I've noticed my husband's vision has been bad lately. He has trouble reading and sometimes bumps into things when he walks, she says. Thank you for sharing, Susan, Dr. Sato responds. Vision problems can actually be a warning sign. It's important to have your husband's vision checked by a doctor to rule out other causes. There may also be problems with words when speaking or writing. You may have trouble finding the right words, calling things by their correct names, or following a conversation. She adds, you may also have difficulty with vocabulary, spelling, or grammar. For example, you may use the wrong word or struggle to find a word for a common object. You may also stop in the middle of a sentence or repeat the same phrases over and over. Another sign may be misplacing items and losing the ability to retrace your steps. You may put items in unusual places, such as putting your keys in the refrigerator or your phone in the dishwasher. You may also have difficulty retracing your steps to find lost items. This can be frustrating for you and your loved ones, adds Dr. Sato. If you find yourself frequently misplacing items or having trouble retracing your steps, it's important to seek medical attention. You may also begin to display impaired or poor judgment. This can lead to poor decisions, such as giving away large sums of money or falling victim to scams. You may also have difficulty with personal care, such as not showering regularly or wearing dirty clothes. Dr. Sato looks out at the audience and asks, have any of you noticed any changes in your judgment or that of a loved one? A middle-aged man named John shares his concern. My mother, who has always been very careful with her money, has started giving recklessly to various charities lately. I'm worried that someone is taking advantage of her. Thanks for sharing, John, says Dr. Sato. It's important to be aware of these changes in judgment, as they can be a warning sign to watch for. If you're concerned about yourself or someone else, it's best to consult a doctor. You may also begin to withdraw from work or social activities. You may lose interest in hobbies, social activities, or work. You may avoid social interactions or have difficulty engaging in conversations. This can lead to feelings of isolation and depression, adds Dr. Sato. If you notice that you or someone you know is withdrawing from activities you once enjoyed, it is important to talk to a doctor. Finally, you may notice changes in your mood and personality. You may become confused, suspicious, depressed, fearful, or anxious. You may also get angry easily or become unusually emotional. Dr. Sato pauses and surveys the audience. He notices that many of them nod in agreement, perhaps recognizing these changes in themselves or their loved ones. For example, he continues, you might become unusually angry when your plans are disrupted or when you can't remember something. You might also become suspicious of others or accuse them of stealing your belongings. After discussing the early signs of dementia, Dr. Sato turns his attention to Buddhist remedies that can help support brain health and cognitive function. Although there is no cure for dementia, there are many things we can do to promote brain health and reduce the risk of developing this condition, says Dr. Sato. Buddhist practices, such as meditation and mindfulness, can be particularly helpful in this regard. Meditation helps calm the mind, reduce stress, and improve concentration and attention, all of which are essential for maintaining healthy cognitive function. Mindfulness, on the other hand, helps us be more present in the moment and aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, which can improve our memory and our ability to learn new information. In addition to meditation and mindfulness, there are other Buddhist remedies that can support brain health, adds Dr. Sato. For example, engaging in regular exercise is key, as physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, which can help protect against cognitive decline. Eating a healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can also provide your brain with the nutrients it needs to function properly. Getting enough sleep is essential for cognitive function, as it allows your brain to rest and repair itself. It is also important to manage stress, as chronic stress can negatively impact your brain health, so it is important to find healthy ways to manage it. Staying socially engaged helps keep the brain active and engaged, which can help prevent cognitive decline. Learning new things, like a new language or a musical instrument, can also help maintain cognitive function. Practicing gratitude, focusing on the things you are grateful for, can also help improve your mood and reduce stress, both of which are important for brain health. Finally, helping others with acts of kindness and compassion can have a positive impact on our mental health and well-being, which in turn can benefit our brain health. By incorporating these Buddhist remedies into our daily lives, we can promote brain health and reduce the risk of developing dementia, says Dr. Sato. It's also important to remember that it's never too late to start taking care of your brain health. Even if you are already experiencing some cognitive changes, there are still things you can do to slow the progression of dementia and improve your quality of life. As the session comes to a close, Dr. Sato encourages attendees to talk to him or one of his assistants if they have questions or concerns about dementia or brain health. He also offers additional resources such as books, websites, and support groups for those interested in learning more. Participants leave the meditation room feeling empowered and confident. They have learned about the early signs of dementia and Buddhist remedies that can help support brain health. They also gain a sense of community and support, knowing they are not alone in their journey. Dr. Sato's message is clear. Dementia is a serious condition, but it shouldn't be a source of fear or despair. By recognizing early signs, taking steps to support brain health, and seeking help when needed, we can live long, fulfilling lives, even in the face of cognitive decline. As Dr. Sato concludes his talk, an expectant silence falls over the room. Then, with an enigmatic smile, he adds, "Remember, the mind is like a parachute. It works best when it is open, but beware." His voice drops to a whisper. Sometimes in our search for knowledge, we may stumble upon truths beyond our comprehension, truths that could change our perception of reality forever. A shiver runs down the spines of those present. What did Dr. Sato mean? What truths lie beyond the confines of the mind? With these questions hanging in the air, the session ends, leaving participants with a deep sense of mystery and the knowledge that the journey to understanding the mind has only just begun, and that it may lead them to unexplored paths and shocking revelations.